Putting up the numbers, we ain't keeping score. Amen, amen. I be on the block, my side. Run it in our house for it's 12 o'clock. Yeah, the hood love me, but you gotta watch. Amen, amen. I just three, I don't do sleep. Yeah, trying to see.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we'll have to watch the guys up front. The Saints are top 10 in total sacks, and they'll be up against a Falcons team that will need to deal with that all game.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Left side and caught by Flainer. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. First carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 55 yards. And
as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They run the counter now. It's Peterson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. They'll set up a throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to...
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Second down following the run. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Halfback sent in motion. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the gun on third down, Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
The play clock's running down. They'll look to throw here. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now the first carry for Wendell Smallwood. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
Play clock winding down.
Get up!
And that'll set them back 5. And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
And now it's 2nd and goal. It's Coleman here. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Again, Peterson. And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Come on, let's go.
He'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the second quarter is starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Duke Riley able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Delvin Breaux with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They run again with Peterson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Come on, let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
On second down, Peterson. He spins through. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, they won't bump that to his resume reel, but that might be one of the best 1-yard runs I've seen.
The Saints on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw here. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you until the next time you take the field.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind him. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now Ryan on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Time a factor as Ryan will hustle him to the line. On second down, here's Ryan. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. In the red zone this time. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Second down. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And we've seemingly lost communication with Larry. Good news, though, both teams somehow already back on the field and ready for the third quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
Let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
The Falcons on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's going to fire one deep, middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This one complete to Ingram. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
He goes underneath to Ingram. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So it was the defense that jumped, and that'll move them 5 yards closer.
I wonder how they did it. What if they twitched a little bit up front, you know, a little subtle head movement that the officials didn't detect, but they got it done. Now they're 5 yards closer for their field goal attempt.
And Dawson's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Coleman now. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Time running out here on the play clock. On 2nd down, Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. No, let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. This is Coleman, and he is knocked down from the side. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will
No,
he?
he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They'll drop to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Get a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
The Falcons on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie,
Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Ohio, here we go. What?
Coleman. Oh, he's got some breathing room. That one good for 33 and a first. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Let's go.
They'll run with Smallwood. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Wendell Smallwood, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
and while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And avoids the contact by sliding. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it second down. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brooks Reed in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll look to throw here. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Corey Brown, and it'll bring up third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at fourth down.
I like what they were thinking on defense. Just guard the first down sticks. Don't let anyone pass that. Didn't matter whether they threw it or ran it. They just ended up rallying to the football in the running play and stopped them short of a first down.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I was going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The play clock's running down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan going up top. And got his man complete. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 43 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Switch. Check the backer.
They'll toss it to Coleman. There he goes inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this down to the 8. He's able to rip off 32. On that one. It's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's Smallwood, and he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 4-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They run Smallwood, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well. They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up 1st down, too.
Let's go. 1, 9,
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And he's able to put it through. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. when they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel, no one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. But Charles, it's one thing.